Hello and welcome everyone to this Girls in Action conference. I would have loved to be there in person and share a tea with you, but I'm hard at work in Washington. So I'm glad at least I was able to be here via video. And I'm also glad that you're focusing this conference on the opportunities available to girls and women. Because as we've seen today, there are many opportunities and they are limitless. Just think, less than 100 years ago, women didn't even have the right to vote. But today we are orbiting the earth, anchoring the evening news, running for president, and serving in the United States Senate. Soon we might even have 3 women serving on the United States Supreme Court, all at the same time for the first time. Now that's progress. As a young girl growing up in Minnesota, I never set out to make a career in politics. In fact, you know, my first job as a teenager was as a car hop at the A&W root beer stand. And they even made me wear a t-shirt, which I know they won't ever make you guys wear, but it said, "Take home a jug of fun." Now, I soon worked my way up the ladder, all the way to waiting tables at Baker's Square Pie Shop. But there my career came to an abrupt end when I spilled 12 iced teas on one customer. That's when I decided to go to law school. I like to think I've recovered quite well since then. For 8 years, I served as the first woman elected to Hennepin County Attorney. I had the incredible opportunity when I was there to work with some amazing people, men and women. And in fact, when I first got to the job, I had to pick 2 people to run the shop, and I actually picked 2 women. And so I got them together one day for lunch, and I thought, here's this historic moment. They'd never met. And we went to the Nicollet Island Inn, and there we were. And I thought, here I am, first woman county attorney with my 2 women deputies. And the waiter came over to the table and he says, "How are you 3 little gals doing? Are you taking a break from work?" Well, I thought, this is going to be a lot harder than I thought, but we did well. Today, I'm here as the granddaughter of an iron ore miner, the daughter of a teacher and a newspaper man, and the first woman elected to the United States Senate from our great state of Minnesota. Now, I can tell you this, I didn't run for these positions just to be a woman prosecutor or a woman senator or to help shatter that elusive glass ceiling. I ran because public service was an opportunity for me to make a difference. I invite all of you to think about what you're passionate about. Find it and then pursue it. Women can and should be leaders in all fields. We've taken women to their highest ranks in powerful corporations, in politics, and in uncharted territories like police officers and police chiefs and astronauts. And we've seen them do well time and time again. It can never be too outdated, too irrelevant, or too redundant to remind ourselves of the progress that generations of women have made before us. But as we navigate through these troubled economic times, unified more than ever by our resolve and our faith in the American spirit, we should channel the extraordinary hope and optimism of the pioneering women in otherwise hopeless times. Do not back away from tough fights. That's what I would recommend to you. Just because there aren't a lot of women in a particular field doesn't mean there shouldn't be. Buckle down, work hard, and you'll see the results. You know, I started out in Washington as an intern for Vice President Walter Mondale. It kind of dates me. It was in the early 80s. And my first job was the glamorous task of crawling under every desk of every staff member in the Vice President's office and doing the furniture inventory, actually writing down the numbers. I'll tell you 2 things I learned. One, nothing was stolen from Vice President Mondale's office. He's such an honest person. And secondly, what I learned is always take your internship seriously. Because you know, my first job in Washington was as an intern. My second job was as a U.S. Senator. There are now 17 brilliant, tough-minded women in the Senate. And Senator Mikulski is actually our longest-serving woman senator. She is the dean of our delegation of women senators, which, by the way, is bipartisan. We work incredibly well together. And what she always says before we're about to take on a big fight, she says, "Women, square your shoulders, suit up, put on your lipstick, and get ready for a revolution." Well, that's what I would say to all of you. Square your shoulders, suit up, and get ready for a revolution. You're all going to be part of this, each and every one of you. You're the ones that will take up the mantle and inspire the change and progress that we need to carry us forward. And it starts today at this conference. Take the time to learn from the strong women leaders that will join you today. And most of all, have fun. Good luck and have a great conference.